Well, good morning, guys. Thought I'd come over here today to the big garden, just look around, see what's going on. As you can see, this is our mustard, and I've picked a couple messes off of it so far, and it's had a frost on it, so it's starting to look good, and it's growing. It needs really to be a little bigger, but hey, I couldn't wait. We just had to get in there and sample it, and it was good too. But as you can see, I don't know, it probably don't show up too well on the camera here, but I've had a deer, more than likely a buck, that he come through right over there, busted that down, and come all the way through here and busted this side down. It don't look like they've bothered anything in there, but I'm not putting it back up, because once they've ever broke it like that, they'll probably just continue to tear it down. So I'm still hoping, guys, we can afford to do something more up here. Maybe I'm really leaning toward the electric fence and just trying to get my ideas together on how to do it. But I wanted to show you this, and look here, guys, the deer are eating our creasy greens. So I don't know if we're gonna get any or not. I've never seen the beet. There's just nothing they won't eat, except garlic. Maybe if I plant a perimeter of garlic, but they got a little thick right here, but they're in there eating on those. So I don't know. I can probably gather a mess of those. May do it by the end of the week. I don't know. We'll see. I might as well try to get them before they do. But I just wanted to show you a little bit of what's going on here. Really not much, but this is what it's looking like. And let's walk up here and check the turnips. All right, here's our turnip patch. And there's some small turnips in there. I hadn't pulled any of those up yet, but I have broke off some of the leaves, and we cooked those. If you saw the video the other day that I did on firing our wood heater up, if you watched to the very end of it, I had those cooking on the wood heater there. So if you didn't get to see that part, you need to back it up and go back and look at it again. So, but that's our turnip patch, and they're coming along. There's wild onions coming up everywhere up here. I don't know what's got those started this year, but I want y'all to look at this deer track right here. I'm trying to get my hand down here. That almost looks like, see my hand? That almost looks like a cow, young cow. I don't know what it is. But anyway, just thought I'd take y'all, show you what it's looking like. And we're not doing a whole lot over here now. Just coming and gathering a little dab of this as we want it, need it. But definitely I would love to can some of the greens or some of the creases, you know, if we can get them. So anyway, just thought I'd show you that. And I want to do something else a little different. Let's take a little walk into the woods. You want to? I want to show you, thought I'd show you some trees that I'll probably be working on shortly. And we'll go in and look at that. Guys, when you're out in the woods this time of year, you've got to really watch where you walk. It's up in the 60s. And that's why I'm really not out. It's too hot for me to be out here running a chainsaw. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But when you're out in the woods, temperatures is like this, the leaves is fresh onto the ground. You need to watch where you're walking. I like to be out here when it's about 30 degrees. That's my favorite time to be out here. But there's an old road bed that goes down that way, and then it veers off back to the left, goes kind of along the edge of the wood line down there. I'd like to open it back up this summer if I could. I don't know if we get time or not, but I've got some trees that are back this way that I want to cut, and I've got to cut me a little road bed in to get back to it. Right there, that's a little one. I don't know if I get anything out of it or not. And there's another one. So that's just little stuff right there. But let's walk down here a minute. I just love, folks, I'm at home when I'm out in the woods like this. I don't know, I can't describe this feeling. But I love being in the woods, especially this time of year. You see that sun coming through and those pretty colors starting in the leaves here. They're a little slower here to change from other places. I guess the woods actually hold some heat in, but that's just a beautiful scene right there. So anyway, let's go on. I'll show you what I've got to work on this year. If I can remember, I think I was going to come right through here. If I remember right, yeah. Because there lays a tree. I don't know if it'll be any good or not, but we can saw into it and find out. But and then we pan around and go on down here. This is one that's we've had some storm damage, and that oak that's laying there, the top, there's the trunk right there. There's some good wood left in that, I believe. But I need to get that out of here before it goes to the bad. We may can burn that this year. But that'll probably be one of the first that I start on. Go on and clean it out, because I've been needing to get that out for some time. And I think one of the hurricanes we had, it's probably been laying here a couple years now, and I've just not had time to get to it. But there's a couple more. Right down there's one, right over there's one, tops out of it. And I think I got another dead one somewhere right in here. Yeah, right there. Right there. Got a dead one. So, got that, and then I just found some more. That are back down that way. They're not real big though. I'm not gonna walk down there, but there's about three or four more. They're not really that great big tree or nothing, but pay to go on and get the wood while I got it. There's some nice stuff down on that branch, but that's not on our property, so can't go get that. Love to, but can't get it. It'd be a little challenge pulling the tractor up that hill too. If you had a trailer load of wood, you wouldn't be able to load it down too heavy. So it would pull the daylights out of it. I'll show you something else right quick. Alright, this is some wood that I cut back last year, and it needs to be, we need to get it out. It's probably going to be a little damp. It really needs to sit out in the sun and dry out. But there was a dead tree right over there. I cut it up. I think I cut some more from somewhere out here. I don't remember. But I know there was a couple of oaks up there. And there used to be an old fence out that way, so you've got to be careful when you're getting into there cutting that. You get into some wire, nails, and a little bit of everything else if you're not careful. But anyway, guys, I just thought I'd show you this. Something different today. Get your mind off all the other drama that's going on in the world right now. And this is my solitude. This is where I come to get my mind off of mess. Man needs that. Hey, you look back this way, I don't know, it might be a better view because the sun, I was walking into the sun, now I'm walking away from it. So we may just take a walk a little further. Kind of go back in the direction we came. Folks, I honestly believe, I mean, of course, it's bred in May. Saturday mornings in the wintertime, this is where I was at. And Lord, what I'll do to go back to some of those days. I don't miss the hard work that we had to do, but we just had some good times. And the people that we spent time with then, most of them's dead and gone now. That's the part I really miss. I have to say some of them were comical. That's a pretty tree right there. Sourwood, I think. The little tree is, the big tree right there, maple, but the ones with the red leaves on it, sourwood. That's pretty. And then you see that kind of yellowish color back behind it there. It's amazing. Two trees just alike, and one's got different colored leaves on it. That yellow one back behind it there is a sourwood too. And over there's one. It's got partially reddish brown leaves on it. Stepped in a stump hole. A pretty holly tree. I love to see hollies in the dead of winter. You can walk out and everything's bare but the holly trees. That you don't see, there's a big sourwood tree right there. I don't keep bees. Don't know too much about it. And to be honest with you, I don't know if I want to know much about it. But I do love sourwood honey. I'm talking about real sourwood honey. And I'm going to go ahead and just get an argument started right here on YouTube right now. Guys, you go to the mountains or somewhere, and just because it says sourwood honey on the label, that don't mean that's what you're getting. It might have a little sourwood honey in it. But if you buy a quart for $5, I'll about guarantee you've got about 5% sourwood honey, and the rest of it's poplar or whatever. But if you get 100% real sourwood honey, it's going to cost the daylights out of you. And I know some people that can taste it, and they can tell you if it's real or not. And I guess I need to get my taster up to that point. But I do love sourwood honey. That's probably my favorite. poplar's not bad. And another one is persimmon. Persimmon makes a good honey. But it's just getting harder and harder and harder to find this good stuff anymore. But there's a sweet gum dead. Tops broke out of it. I don't know. Sweet gum's a funny thing. If you catch it right when it's dead, you might get some wood out of it. But if it sets very long, that stuff will turn doty. Now let's just swing on around here. Yeah, if you can see right up through there used to be a road bed right through there. I need to get down here and clip some of this stuff off and open it back up. Or if I want to drive around through here, I can. There's wood down here, really. There's a dead tree right there. It may not be no good, but there's another one down there. Even if they're no good, they need to be brought down so they don't fall on somebody. These boys of mine out here deer hunting and stuff. There's one laying on the ground. And I'm just about on the line right here. It's run right through here somewhere. Reason I know that, if you can look right down in there, there's some white flint rock piled up. My wife's grandpa put that rock wall up there. And the line runs kind of like across there. I like looking at structures like that on my own ancestral property. There's some rock dams that was built in gullies like that, and my great grandma and grandpa built that with their hands. And it would gather, they would have a place there that water would gather, and I've heard my grandfather speak of them going down washing clothes there. And it goes back to what I just talked about, folks. They were prepared. They had them a way of, storing water. That was a very primitive way of doing it, but hey, it worked. And I'm living proof of it. They survived. They survived long enough to have great-grandchildren and great-great-grandchildren. So there's a white oak dead, but it's not on us, I don't believe. I'd love to have that. White oak burns good. But anyway, you can see that ribbon right over yonder on that tree. And then the line goes right through there. Don't hurt for a fella to get out and walk. There's a maple. It's dying. It's not dead, but it's dying. Top's dead in it. This is what I love to do. We used to do this a lot years ago when I was a boy. Rabbit hunt, squirrel hunt, whatever. And we would get out and just walk the woods. Whether you killed anything, whether you got anything or not. It was fun just to get out and do it. Somebody's been cutting wood right there. I don't know who. There's an old pine stump laying there. A lot of fat pine lighter than that. You can see that wall a little closer there. It goes there all the way up there. That's white flint rock, guys. That's heavy. And a lot of people had, when they had mules and stuff, they would have an old sled built. And they would hitch it to the mule, and they'd haul them a load of wood, haul them a load of rock out of the field. It was especially used for that. And that was just something back in the day a lot of people did when they didn't have a tractor. Around this area, a lot of people didn't start getting tractors till probably the 50s. And maybe there was rare occasions in the 40s they had one, but most of the folks around here didn't have one till around the 50s that I know of. And so I'll share a story with you. Let me see if I can get zoomed in on me. The sun's in my face there. My grandpa, he had, I don't remember if it was 2 mules or if he had just 1 mule. Probably had just 1 mule pulling the sled. But I've heard my uncle talk about it. And said that the rascal was bad. He'd just go along and then he'd just stop for no reason at all. And said my grandpa had that sled and he was standing up on it. And mule's name was Robert. That's what they called him, Robert. Or Bob, I don't know, one or the other. But anyway, going across the field, and that rascal stopped, and my grandpa centered him right in the rear end. I mean, it wasn't fun. And he wasn't happy about that, but I could picture what that scene would have been like. But anyway, another time, they had 2 mules. I know one of them's name was Robert, but I can't remember the other one's name. But anyway, it don't matter. But he said that come evening time, he said those mules knowed when it was time to go home. And he said all you had to do was basically just unharness them from the plow or unhook them from the plow, and they walked to the house, went to the barn by themselves. One reason they done that, they were hungry. They was ready to eat. They was tired and they was thirsty and they was done. But if it was gonna come up a thunderstorm, that Robert, he said that Robert would be bad to just break and run. And he said he was plowing corn one time and said that it come up a thunderstorm, and he said he heard the thunder in the distance and said that they was wanting to get that corn plowed before it rained. And he said doggone Robert took off. Said that plow was dragging behind him, corn stalks flying everywhere. And he said Robert, a braying with his ears laid back, took off to that barn, tore the door down getting in that barn. They had the door shut. And said old Robert tore the door down getting in that barn, just tore the plow all to pieces, broke the handles out of it and everything. But anyway, that was life back then. And you know, that's just but it's just some of the stories that I've heard over the years. But I just thought that was funny. But you know, back in those days, I've heard my grandfather speak of his mother. She said they would get to wake up in the morning and they got up daylight or just before, and said that he's known her many mornings get up and say, go in there and say, boys, get up. Said if y'all got any plowing, anything you need to do outside, you better get on and get at it. She said it's gonna rain this afternoon. And said 9 times out of 10, said his mama would hit that just right. They know something. Those old timers knew the weather, they knew the signs, they knew what to look for. And so anyway, guys, I just thought I'd take you around here. I didn't mean to bore you with all my stories. I'll show you some more of these trees out here. It's just a beautiful day to be alive. There's a pretty maple top right up there. I don't know how well it's showing up on here, but man, it's pretty from where I'm looking at it. All right, guys, well, I'm gonna get off of here. I don't mean to bore you with this no longer. You could probably enjoy the scenery without me talking. So anyway, I'm gonna hush. I'm gonna get off of here. I gotta get back to the house. And got another video I'm gonna be coming out. I probably will start a conversation piece on YouTube with the next video I'm thinking about doing. And I told y'all I was gonna get into some controversial subjects. This one very well could be. It really don't have nothing to do with politics, but politics uses this, so we're gonna probably talk about barbecue. And I might show you a little bit about North Carolina barbecue. And to some of my friends that subscribe to me from South Carolina, the homesteading pastor, y'all have good barbecue down there. I have eaten the mustard sauce barbecue that's down there, and I love that. And believe it or not, we have one place that's not too far from where we live here. Great big town in North Carolina. It's called Bennett. I mean, guys, I wouldn't want to live in a place like that. It's all right to visit, but I sure wouldn't want to live in a big place like Bennett is. No, I'm just joking. It's a little small community, really, is what it is. But there's a place over there. It's called Chirpy's Barbecue, and they make the mustard style barbecue sauce, and it's got a old timers around here called it a twang. So anyway, it's got a little sour, twangy taste to it, and I actually love it. I honestly love that style. But anyway, we'll probably talk more about that on the next video. So I like to stick teasers in every once in a while. So guys, y'all have a great day. I'm gonna get off of here. Turn it around here so you can see me. I'm gonna get off of here today, and I hope you've enjoyed this little walk around in the woods. And y'all have a great day, and thank you from Little NC Farmer.